Hey guys, I'm Chase Brogan. Today in this video, we're diving into this guy right here. This is a 1 terabyte external hard drive with over 320 indie PC games on here. So I picked this up off of AliExpress. Currently, at the time of this recording, the price point for this 1 terabyte setup is $93 and change. So we're going to see if it's worth it or not. We're going to boot right up into this. It offers everything via Playnite, which I'm a big fan of for AAA and PC games. So all you have to do is simply plug this in via USB-A connection. Before we do though, I actually want to open this up, and you can see on the back side there's a little eject sort of button on there, or slide I guess it is. And what you're going to do is just simply press down on that, and if you slide it forward you can see that it opens up. Now inside here, our hard drive is a Samsung 1 terabyte hard drive. So it is name brand, which is very uncommon, to be perfectly honest. A lot of times these hard drives are going to be just generically branded, which generally doesn't give me that much confidence because name brands are obviously much better than generic options. But Samsung, good to go here. We're going to plug this into the PC. We're going to fire it up. We're going to tour through everything that it has to offer and then jump into some games to actually test out the performance. All right, guys, so first thing we're going to do is obviously connect your hard drive over to your PC. Once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here to your File Explorer, and you're going to locate the drive that you just connected, which this automatically populates in as the D drive for me. And you can see that you can access your games in here. You can go into your files, all that good stuff. But you're just going to simply double click on launch in order to launch into Playnite. All right, and there you go. Everything loads right up just like so. So we've got easy access to all of our games. We're going to kind of tour through here. And what's really cool about Playnite is you can connect over a controller or a keyboard. I've got both connected currently. So actually, if I go down to my keyboard, you can see I'm just hitting my arrow keys to kind of navigate around here. I could do the same thing with the controller right here. So really easy to set everything up. So let's go through some of the games first. So here we have 20 minutes till dawn. We have 60 parsecs here. We have 9 kings. We have 9 Years of Shadows. We've got a lot of really great titles. Aces and Adventures over here. We've got After Charm, Aloft, American Arcadia, Amid Evil. Lots of good stuff inside here. Now, these are mainly going to be indie titles. There are some titles on here that I definitely recognize, but there's a lot of stuff on here that honestly I don't recognize that, you know, might be interesting to play. So let's see what else we've got. We've got Batbarian over here, Beholgar. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but I've actually played these games and they're pretty sweet. We've got Bendy in here. We've got the Dark Revival. We've got Bendy Lone Wolf. Let's keep it moving. Bleak Sword DX over here. We've got Blade of Darkness, which I've actually played that as well. Pretty cool game. Bionic Bay. We've got, let's see, Bloodroots down here. Blueprints, Boomerang X. Looks like a lot of horror games on here. We got Brotato, which I'm familiar with. Let's see what else we have. Card Hog. Corpse Keeper over here. Children of the Sun. So, I mean, honestly, I'm only recognizing Creature Kitchen. That looks interesting. Definitely want to check that one out. I'm honestly only recognizing maybe 20% of these titles, so it's a lot of stuff that's brand new to me, but it's a cool way to go in here and, you know, just explore new titles. And all of this for 90 bucks, that's pretty sweet. Devil Blade Reboot's in here. Do Not Feed the Monkeys is in here. And I definitely like Devil Blade Reboot. That's a pretty cool game. We'll definitely jump in there. Dread Delusion's in here. We've got Dredge is in here. What else? Looks like Dune Crawl's in here. I've seen this game. I've never played this one right here, so I'll have to check that out at some point as well. We've got Farlands. Fort Solis, Grimes in here, Golden Light over here. Happy Game I've actually checked out. Haunted Lands, we've got Haunted Room 205, we've got, what else in here? I Hate This Place. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. Definitely familiar with that one. I'm on Observation Duty 8. Interesting. Iron Meat. Oh, nice. We got Kingdom Rush 5 Alliance. Kingdom Newlands. Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff here. We've got Kong Survivor Instinct. Kung Fury Street Rage. I actually looked this game up, Kung Fury Street Rage, which I've never played before, but we're going to definitely check out that one as well. So we'll go into at least a handful of these just to check out the performance. A lot of these, as I mentioned before, I don't really recognize. A lot of them, because they're indie PC games, a lot of them are new to me. Some of these I know, but it's going to be kind of cool to just kind of go down, you know, and we've got Mortal Sin down here. We've got Nobody's After Death. We've got Nova Roma over here. Neon Blood I've actually played. So yeah, I mean, I would say that even 20%, knowing 20% of these might be a stretch. So yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, still, I'm probably at maybe 20% of these I recognize. So it'll be cool to definitely go in here and try out some new titles, see what the performance is like here to really gauge whether this is worth it. Because as of right now, there's definitely bang for your buck as long as these games are something that you're interested in actually playing. For me personally, I'm just not familiar with a lot of them, so I don't know if they're good games or not, but we're definitely going to find out in this video. So what else do we have in here? Anything else that I'm recognizing? Doesn't look like it. Spirit of the North, of course. The Spirit of the Samurai, I'm actually familiar with that title as well. Cool side-to-side sort of game. We've got Struggling over here, which I've heard about, never played firsthand. Oh, sweet. We've got the Terminator 2D No Fate game. Honestly, that right there makes the whole thing worth it, in my opinion. If you can find a handful of titles that you'll actually play on here, that right there, though, I think is for everybody. I mean, that's such a good game. The Hong Kong Massacre's in here. Cabin Factory. Night of the Rabbit. Tower Factory. Trinity Fusion. Yeah, so over 200 games on here that you have at your disposal. And in order to launch these games, you simply right-click and hit the play button. So we're going to do that now. We're going to jump into at least a handful of these, check out the performance, and then I'll talk about what I think about this entire setup and this overall curated collection once we dive into some gameplay. Alright guys, so we jumped in here. This uses Playnite. It doesn't get any more user-friendly or easy to launch. You literally go into your files, you locate your new drive that you've connected. For me, it was the D drive, and you double-click on launch. Everything populates in. It's very easy to navigate. You saw me tour through everything. You can use your keyboard, you can use your mouse, you can use your controller if you want to. So it doesn't get any easier to navigate and to launch not only the software, but also the games as well. Now, in terms of the games that are offered on here, the majority of these are indie PC games. They're not going to be for everybody. And I think it's going to be a lot of titles that the majority of people aren't super familiar with, but that's half the fun right here, or that's honestly all the fun here. You can explore new titles that you wouldn't ordinarily have access to. 90 bucks for the entire thing. I mean, you're not having to buy individual games. They've bundled together hundreds of games for you that, again, are just super easy to launch and not super demanding either. Just for reference, I'm using a mini PC that has an AMD Ryzen 7 processor, as well as AMD Radeon graphics. So that is, what I'm jumping into this with. It's a pretty solid system and setup, but not, overly, capable necessarily. So it goes to show you these titles aren't super demanding. It's not like jumping into Call of Duty that just came out, or the latest Forza game. Like, they're not super demanding. So you're not going to need over the top, an over the top gaming PC to launch these titles. For me personally, Terminator 2D, No Fate, the best game on here, hands down. Love that game. It's an absolute blast. I was familiar with that prior to this setup, but having that game on here instantly gives you a tremendous amount of value. That's not a cheap game by any means. So you can get this setup included with that game and everything else on here, and to me it's a no-brainer. The value is definitely there, and it gives you the ability to go in here and to start experimenting with new games. I was familiar with, as I said before, I think 20% is probably generous. I would say it's probably closer to like 15% of the games, but there's enough games on here that I actually enjoy playing, where, if I didn't play anything else on here, it would still be a blast and worth the money. So also, the fact that we get a Samsung branded drive is huge, because most of these preloaded game drives, they're usually generic. They're usually, you open them up and you don't even recognize the brand within. Having Samsung in there was a major win, and at 90 bucks these days, for 1 terabyte, that's pretty incredible value. So great experience in my opinion. Let me know what you guys thought. Are these games that you'd actually play? Are you interested in these games? If so, what games are you most excited about? Hit me up in the comments. You guys know the deal. I'll provide you guys with a direct link for this drive in the description of this video. Click over, learn a little bit more. There's also a 500 gigabyte version that I will be doing a deep dive into as well, very similar to this video. So stay tuned for that one. That's obviously much cheaper, but 1 terabyte for me was an absolute win. I love the fact that we've got hundreds of games at our disposal on here. So click those links, learn a little bit more, and I'll see you guys on the next video.